Good afternoon. Today we're going to talk about the 2015 Chicago Cubs and why you should believe in them in winning the World Series this year, even though it has been 107 years. Primarily going to focus on how the roster was built. We're going to look at, first, their current president, Theo Epstein, and their general manager, Jed Hoyer. Next, we're going to look at their young talent that's on the team and how they were acquired. Then we're going to look at the veterans that are on the team and how they were acquired. And then finally we're going to take a look at Joe Madden and what he brings to the team. So let's start out with Theo Epstein and Jed Hoyer. Theo Epstein and Jed Hoyer both worked together for the Boston Red Sox for most of the 2000s. And both of them joined the Chicago Cubs organization in October of 2011 in their current positions. Those two alone have pretty much built the Chicago Cubs organization as we know it today. One of the first acquisitions they did was trading for a young first baseman named Anthony Rizzo. Anthony Rizzo came over from the San Diego Padres, where Jed Hoyer was employed previously, and has been the Cubs starting first baseman ever since. Chris Bryant was selected in the 2013 first-year player draft and spent the rest of 2013 and 2014 in the minor leagues and the beginning of 2015 in the minor leagues. He was called up in early April and has been playing third base and left field for the Chicago Cubs ever since. Kyle Schwarber was selected in the 2014 first-year player draft, spent all of the rest of last year and the beginning part of this year in the minor league system developing. Due to injuries, he was called up in June to fill in for an injured player. The next rookie on the team is Addison Russell. Addison Russell was acquired via trade with the Oakland Athletics for Jeff Samardzija. And then the final rookie on here that has made an impact for the Cubs this year is Javier Baez. Javier Baez was also selected in the 2014 first-year player draft. And while Schwarber spent most of his first year in the minor league system, the Cubs called up Javier Baez to bat immediately for the Cubs. Although Baez struggled in 2014, he spent most of the 2015 season down in the minor leagues and was called up in September this year. So let's take a look at the veterans that are on the staff. In the offseason, the Cubs made their first significant offseason move by signing Jon Lester. Jon Lester was originally drafted by the Boston Red Sox under the Theo Epstein, Jed Hoyer regime. They loved him so much they decided to offer him a major deal to bring him to Chicago to pitch for the Chicago Cubs. The second veteran that's on the team that has made probably the biggest impact this year is Jake Arrieta. Jake Arrieta was acquired via trade with the Baltimore Orioles and was subpar with the Orioles, but ever since coming to the Cubs he has been phenomenal. This year he is currently slated to be possibly won the best pitcher in the Major Leagues award called the Cy Young. The next veteran on the team that has made a big impact is Dexter Fowler. Dexter Fowler, a lesser-known name guy, has been an essential leadoff hitter that the Cubs sorely have needed in the past couple of years. Next, we're going to look at Jason Hammel. Jason Hammel was acquired also with Arrieta in the Baltimore trade and has pitched very well for the Cubs. The Cubs did trade him away last year, but he re-signed with the Cubs this year and has had a pretty good season for them. Next, we're going to look at Miguel Montero. The Cubs got Miguel Montero after failing to sign another catcher and felt he was the next best option for them. And ever since the Cubs have acquired Miguel Montero, he has been a pretty solid catcher for them. Next, we're going to look at Austin Jackson and Fernando Rodney. Both of these two players were trade deadline acquisitions this year from the Seattle Mariners. While Austin Jackson plays the field, he's provided a lot of speed and veteran leadership in the outfield. Fernando Rodney is a relief pitcher out of the bullpen with plenty of playoff and veteran experience, and has led a young relief staff in composure down the final stretch here. And then the final veteran that the Cubs added that turned out to be a key piece for them was catcher David Ross. And David Ross is known as the personal catcher for John Lester, but has provided plenty of veteran leadership and as well as coaching to younger players on the team and how to handle certain situations. So now that you know about the roster, let's take a close look at the most essential piece for the Cubs, and that is their manager, Joe Maddon. Joe Maddon was a Tampa Bay Rays manager for a number of years and led them to several postseason appearances. Now, what's interesting about Joe Maddon is he has always worked with young guys that are highly skilled, which is what the Cubs are. And now that he is with a Cub organization that is going to spend money and bring in veteran leadership, he's proven to be the great manager everybody thought he was. So, depending on how far the Cubs go will depend greatly on how well Joe Maddon coaches in the postseason. So that is a look at the 2015 Chicago Cubs and how they could possibly win the World Series this year. Thank you.